cups of all-purpose flour in the bowl with the blade that I took from the freezer, along with my butter and my buttermilk, so they're all nice and icy cold. And to the flour, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, which is going to give us our lift for those biscuits and make them nice and light and fluffy. Going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and this baking soda is going to help neutralize the acid in the buttermilk, which we're going to add later. And 2 teaspoons of salt. We're using a fine salt, table salt. I'm going to put that cover on and just give it a quick whirl to blend all of those ingredients. 2 sticks of icy cold butter. We cubed it and then refrigerated it so all of the sides of these little cubes actually get cold also. And we're just going to pulse that again until we have like little pea-sized pieces. Now that looks pretty good. And what happens is that butter, when it bakes, actually causes little steam pockets, and that steam also helps raise the biscuits in the oven. And we're going to take 1½ cups of buttermilk, and you want to disperse this as much as possible. A few more pulses. That's perfect. I don't want to go any further than that. Just lightly sprinkle a little bit of flour on the work surface. And just kind of pull it out. You just want to be careful working around that blade. It's still very sharp. Okay, and then I'm just going to gather this and very gently knead it into a solid dough. Really can mix this biscuit by hand, although the food processor does save you a little bit of time. And we're just going to pat it out. Now that looks about right. It's about 3/4 of an inch thick and a nice round circle. And with a 2½ inch round biscuit cutter, I'm going to start, just give it a quick twist, a nice clean cut. And after each cut, I dip it in flour again just to ensure that I get a nice clean cut and that biscuit comes out nice and easily from the cutter. And if you want to freeze these, after you brush them with butter, stick them in the freezer on the tray, let them get hard, and then you can stack them in a resealable bag and keep them for up to 3 months. And that's it. Now I'm going to brush some melted butter on top of these biscuits. And this is going to give it nice color on the top and enhance the flavor. Now these are going to bake for 12 to 15 minutes in a 450-degree oven. They're going to get a great oven spring because of that high temperature, and they're going to be nice and golden brown on the top. Now let me just show you 2 variations of the same basic biscuit. The cheddar biscuit and fresh herb biscuit. Now the cheddar biscuit, all we did was substitute 4 tablespoons of butter for 2 cups of yellow cheddar cheese. And we're going to butter the tops just like we did the basic biscuit with melted butter. And we're going to finish it with some shredded yellow cheese. Now this melted butter will also help the cheddar cheese to stick to the top of the biscuit. And then for our herb biscuits, we used a ½ cup of fresh herbs, parsley, rosemary, and thyme. And then they all get baked in the same oven, 450 degrees for 12 to 15 minutes. When you make biscuits from scratch, go the extra mile and make a flavored butter to go with them. Strawberry butter is a blend of a ½ cup of whole and coarsely chopped fresh strawberries, 2 sticks of unsalted butter, a 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Frozen berries might have too much liquid and the butter might not turn out as smooth. Place the strawberry butter into small decorative serving containers and top each one with a parchment round, pressing down and smoothing out the top. Place them into the freezer and just bring them to room temperature when you're ready to use them. Whether you make them plain, with herbs, or with cheddar cheese, our buttermilk biscuits are a delicious addition to any brunch table. In everyday food, we prefer to use